guys, thanks for tuning in. Today we're going to be reviewing the Cheerson CX-10 Nano quadcopter. Now this guy's been around for a while. I just got my hands on it as a review model, and this thing is very, very small. Light, flies well, lasts a long time on a battery charge, and I think you'll really like it. This is the smallest I've actually been sent so far. I've actually had a Q4, and this one is just a tad bit smaller, and I'm really liking this guy. So in this video we're going to be doing a kind of what comes out of the box, initial setup. We're going to take it out to the park, do some outside flying, do some inside flying in the house, and then afterwards we'll do a final rundown and review, pros and cons, and flight times and all different kinds of environments and stuff like that. So let's get started. So what you first get in the box, of course, here it comes in this little cute box, and this is the quad itself. Nicely designed, comes in a whole bunch of different colors. You can see here. And this thing really is only like 15 to 20 bucks, so it's really small, portable. It seems very durable. So you could take this thing anywhere and, you know, have like a office lunchtime flight just by charging it from your office computer or something. And I like the build quality. It seems very durable. The battery is kind of non-removable built in, but that's okay. Charges pretty quick. These little ones usually charge within 15-20 minutes and give you about 5 minutes run time, but we will go through all those specs after we do some flights with it. So in the box you get the quad, you get the remote controller, the RC controller, 2.4 gigahertz controller. All the basic functions of a nano quad like this. You get your left and right roll trim, your pitch forward and back trim. If it's drifting in one direction, you just push the opposite directions on these guys here. On-off switch, and you've got your throttle up and down. This one here gives you, when you have it on, you've got, if you click in the right button, that will give you your flip mode. So you click it in once, you'll hear a beep, and then you go ahead and flip in any direction you want. Once it does one flip, you would just let go and you'll go back to normal flying. I don't think this one does continuous flips. I've done a couple of runs so far, and it seems like if you hold it in flip mode, it won't keep doing flips. So that's actually kind of nice. I've had a few quads that accidentally held the controller, the pitch stick down or roll stick down when I was in flip mode, and it just kept continuously doing flips and tumbled to the ground. So that's a good feature. And then pushing in on the left thumbstick, you'll hear a little click and a beep. It starts off in low rate mode, so it's really slow household flying, and if you click it in again, you'll hear two beeps. That gives you more pitch and roll. So the quad will actually go faster in the air by pitching and rolling. And then if you push it in again, you'll get the third rate, which is a pretty high rate of control. I think it gives you about a 30% pitch, so you can go pretty fast. All right, so let's talk about what we get in the box, the rest of the stuff. So we get this, just your basic USB charger. You plug this into any computer or phone USB power plug. It only goes in one way into the quad. So you would just push it in like that. There's this yellow tab on top so you know which way to push it in. Plug that into your wall. Takes about 20 minutes to charge and you're all set. And they also give you 4 props in the box, which is nice. Some quads don't give you all 4 props, but these guys did include all 4 brand new props. So that's nice. And of course, the user manual, your basic user manual, kind of tells you how to do everything. Different parts, how to fly it, pretty much everything I've just explained. So I'd recommend before you fly it to go ahead and do a gyro calibration. And the way you do it on this one, you just basically take, this is a left-hand throttle, this is a mode 2. Mode 1s have the throttle on this side, so it's a little bit different. But for this model, you basically just power everything on, get it to bind. On this one, you just, once you power it on, you would just press, let's go ahead and power it on real quick. So controller on first, power on the quad, beeps a couple of times, push up on the throttle, one beep, push down, the other beep, now it's ready to fly. So initially what I would do is put it on a very level surface, countertop, tabletop, whatever. The more level, the better stability you'll have in flight and hover. And all you do is you press down left on the left thumbstick and up left on the right thumbstick. You can't really see it, but what happens is these, the blue lights, there you can see it now, the blue lights will actually flash. And you want to keep it on the table. And then they'll flash and they'll go off, and that means it'll reset the gyro for level flight, more stable flight. So I'd recommend doing that before you go out and fly. And then if you are still having some drifting issues in a windless environment after doing that gyro calibration, I'd recommend just using your trim buttons after that. You'll hear this, on most quads, you'll hear this short beep that lets you know you are trimming it in one direction, and then when you come back, you hear that high tone long beep, and that means you're back to center of your trims. Whenever you're doing a gyro calibration, always make sure you are in that centered area before you do your calibration like that. Let go of the sticks when you start seeing the lights blinking. The blue lights on the front will blink, and then when they stop blinking, your gyro calibration will be complete. Okay, so let's take this out to the park, also do a few flights inside, come back, do final thoughts, pros and cons, run times in both environments, and see how she does. guys, welcome back. So we're back from a few flights with the CX-10 here, the Cheerson CX-10, and I have to say I'm fairly impressed with this. Basically, this guy is very well built. I'm going to go through some pros and cons now and break it down. First, we'll go with the cons actually, and the only real con on this guy was it had a bit of a slow yaw when you increased the actual flight rate. So once you clicked your left thumbstick in and you got those higher rates for faster flying, the yaw stayed the same, which was relatively okay, not too slow, not too fast. But what I would have liked to see was maybe a little bit quicker yaw when you did up the flight rates for faster flying, because when you do start to turn flying fast, you'd like it to turn a little quicker once you start getting better at flying it. One more was when I did actually crash sometimes, even though I would put the throttle all the way down, the props would kind of start spinning full blast. So I actually cracked one of the propellers because when it did fall, it just out of control just started spinning, and I had to actually turn it off to stop the propellers from spinning. So that's the only other con actually. I'll go into the pros. It's very tiny. This is the smallest nano quadcopter I've actually been able to review. I did have another one, the Hubsan Q4, and this is actually smaller than that, and I like the design a little bit better, so I'm really loving this one. It's also very durable. The build quality, the way they have encased it in plastic, kind of like the larger Phantom looking quadcopter style, it really gives it a nice durable feel and look, and it's very easy to fly. The controls are very intuitive and easy to pick up. It also is good that it has 3 rates. If you're just starting out, keep it on the first slow rate. Once you get better, you can go to medium and high rates, and it's pretty quick, as you've seen in the video. It also has a pretty long flight time for a small quad like this. I'm getting 4 minutes outdoors of really fast flying and flips and all that stuff, and then indoors about 5 minutes. So that's a pretty reasonable flight time for a little nano quadcopter with basically, I think it's probably a 100 mAh battery in here. And charge time looks to be at about 15 minutes from just a regular phone wall charger. It could vary a little bit if you plugged it into your computer, but I'd say around 15 minutes for that 4 to 5 minutes of runtime is pretty good. The range I was getting was reasonable for a tiny quad like this. I was getting between 50 and 75 feet, and at that range you really can't see it anymore, so that was actually fine. I did some range testing in the park, and it did drop out, and once you do lose range, it just kind of drops out of the sky, which is actually an okay thing, because if it kept going, you'd probably lose it if it kind of flew over somebody's yard or too far in a tree. So it's actually good that it kind of drops when you lose range. That's basically it. I really had a joy flying this thing. The flips, it flips well, easy to control. I like the design, very durable. It's available in many different colors. This one gets a 2 thumbs up. This was actually a review model from Litake.com, and the links will be in the description of where you can buy this and how much it is. I think they're only around between $15 and $20, so really cheap buy, good gift, even just for beginners to play around, see if they like the hobby of getting into remote control or quadcopters in general, or like toys for kids. I'd highly recommend this one as far as a nano quad would go. Very impressed with it. So anyway, hope you guys liked the review, and like, subscribe, comment, and I'll see you in the next one.